is like, how do you guys keep it together? I mean, as a family, you guys are 10 years now, nine.
We've been together 14, married 10. It'll be 10. And yeah, we're blessed with 3 healthy, beautiful kids. And honestly, my wife's been great about really just making sure the machine runs smoothly. Because unfortunately, in my line of work, the schedule is very unpredictable and fluid. But she understands that, and she rolls with the punches and acclimates quickly, whether it's with the kids' schedules, who have their own very busy schedules, or herself now as well. You know, we both work, we both are hands-on with our kids and all their activities, and yet I don't feel we're missing out. I'm fortunate enough I work about 20 minutes from home, and I'm usually there when everybody's getting up and see them.
You kind of like run home sometimes too, right? Like in between and
not really run home, but I'm there enough to see everybody off from school. Then I hit the ground running, and I'll squeeze in either some jiu-jitsu or boxing, and then I'll do the radio show, and then I have Access Hollywood, then Access Daily, some other stuff after that, or a meeting or what have you. And then I'll be there for my son's practice or what have you, or there for the tournament. And then my wife will work with me a couple days in the radio.
Now, Courtney's doing a lot. You guys are doing a lot together right now, right? You're like hosting with them. I mean, I see you guys on everything now.
So I fill in on Access Daily when Kit is gone. And it's nice because it's not an everyday thing with him, because I think if we worked together like that every day, it wouldn't be so healthy and so great. But it's fun. We get to do that. I get to do the radio with him. So it still feels like I'm working and doing something for myself, but yet I can still be with the kids and be so hands-on and take them to school, pick them up from school, take them to their classes. So I'm very, very fortunate for that.
And recently she just got hired by E! News in their new launch. Which is
congratulations.
Thank you.
She's working on that, correspondent.
So I'll be doing stuff for that.
You'll be doing E! News.
E! News.
Yeah,
so that is very inconsistent too. That schedule is, 6:30 one day, noon another day. So it's just kind of like, it gets thrown your way and you just make it work.
Yeah, you don't know who you're talking to. She just talked to Josh Grove, and she's got Jennifer Hudson on Monday, right? So we got to then accommodate. It's a team effort, right? So the nanas help out, the tatas help out, like whoever, assistants. And so it's always all hands on deck.
It seems like you guys are always doing family stuff.
Yes.
I mean, it seems like you're together a lot. Am I wrong? Correct me if I'm wrong, by the way.
No, we're together.
No, I mean,
a lot for especially 2 crazy schedules and 3 kids. It seems like you still carve out that time. I mean, are you guys still feeling the same passion you did 9-10 years ago? In all honesty, I just got married. So
congratulations.
What advice do you have for that, right? I mean, because you guys, have a huge schedule compared to most people.
Honestly, not to sound corny, but it's like better than ever with us all this time.
Do you agree with that?
100%. Can we take a minute and have us go to the bedroom real quick and then we'll come back? No, I'm kidding.
Well, you're Italian. You're Mexican.
Right, it's a lot of passion right from the get.
Passion. Does that ever roll over to fights?
Once in a while,
I mean, not
but
really,
I mean,
It has to. No?
Yeah, the dynamics of relationship, right? You're not always going to agree on anything and have disagreements and stuff, but I think it's important. This is good advice too. Not only you choose your battles, but you have rules when it comes to arguing and fighting, and you don't want to cross any lines or be disrespectful.
Do you always follow them?
I think I'm pretty good about following them. I think I'm pretty good.
No? Yes? She kind of nodded her head.
I'm not good about following. I think I'm pretty good.
Next question.
She's trying to be funny. She's trying to be funny.
But we don't really fight. When we fight, it's, I think, because one of us is just really tired and we just react. It's not really big issues. It's kind of stupid stuff.
Do you guys ever get jealous? I mean, you guys are both a beautiful couple. You're both out in Hollywood. You guys ever get jealous?
She'll get a little fiery sometimes. She'll get a little fiery sometimes.
Well, you're both amazing dancers. You're both beautiful.
No, not to the point where like it's an issue.
Oh no, we're gonna get in a fight later. Watch.
No.
See what you're starting?
Yes. No, it's fine though. I know she cares.
He's sweating.
Yeah. I know that means she cares.
Yeah.
So you get jealous too. Oh my God, he's sitting over there saying, "I don't break the rules. I don't get jealous."
Oh come on! What are you talking? Ellen DeGeneres over here. She thinks she's
I don't do anything to make him jealous. I'm not that type.
No. If she was like that, I wouldn't probably be with her.
She seems like a great teammate. You guys seem
great
like a
teammate, great partner. Yeah, honestly, great partner. And when she came into my life, everything went to another level in my life. So
that's beautiful.
I think that's she's the biggest compliment.
So with your kids, what's your goal? Do you guys want to see them in Hollywood when they're older?
I want them to do whatever they
Whatever
want
makes
to
them
do.
happy.
You know, Dominic is into wrestling and jiu-jitsu, and he's doing really well. G is on the competitive gymnastics team, so she loves that.
They all dance. They all play the piano.
Yeah.
So we try to keep it very diverse in their interests and expose them to as many different things.
My grandfather always said, you know, if you're not busy, if you're not working, he always said, Hito, if you're working, you're out of trouble.
Exactly. Stay busy, stay out of
Right?
trouble.
If you're,
That's my mom's
if you're working, you're out of trouble, right? And you are who your friends are, right? So what's other than being happy, what would be the goal that you would like to see, you know, when they're, let's say, adults?
Well, I want to raise, most importantly, good, kind kids that try to come from a place of love with all people. We always stress manners and being polite, and I'll say, what are the most important words? And they'll repeat back to me, please, thank you, excuse me, you're welcome. And the best compliment we get is when people come up and say, your kids are so polite and so nice. No one said
Respectful.
thank you.
And
They're
we
the
do.
only one.
Yeah, we do.
We get that a lot. So
At home, they're crazy, but I'd rather have that.
Yeah.
Be house devils, street angels, you know, because
Yeah.
that's what you want when they're out away from you.
Yeah.
They're representing you and the family. So it makes you feel good because you know your parenting is being heard.
And that goes a long way. I really do believe carrying yourself like a gentleman, lady goes a long way. Manners go a long way. Being nice and being genuine go a long way. People remember that. People remember how you made them feel. And I think it comes back around. But at the end of the day, I want them not only to be good people, I want them to be independent and confident in whatever it is that they want to do and pursue, whatever passion it is. And so far, you know, I feel we're on the right track, and I feel like we're doing a good job.
It seems like it.
I know
Yeah.
they're all going to do amazing things. I don't think they're not going to be people that just sit home and do nothing.
Well, their parents don't, that's for sure.
So
Yeah,
they
exactly.
will not.
You
Well,
always
that's the
active.
thing, you know, it's tough because you want to lead. My kids are being raised a lot different than when I was.
Well, your father's from East LA. And
Yeah. Well, he's from Mexico, and then he came.
he was
was
telling me
first
he used to
generation.
drive you down into for
We
auditions
were
and things like
border
that.
town kids. It was a much tougher neighborhood. It was just different. Had to grow up a lot quicker, a lot more street smart. So they're getting raised much different. So you don't want them to struggle, obviously, because that's why you're working hard, but you don't want them to be spoiled either. So it's a tough sort of balance. So I try to expose them to a strong work ethic and let them see that dad's hustling and working hard every day. So I try to lead by example like that, and they see that there are no shortcuts. And hopefully that'll be implemented, and they'll kind of incorporate that into their mindset and lifestyle.
That is so true. There's no shortcuts in life. And I think especially in this new generation of people in their 20s, and it's a different time. Don't you agree with that? I mean, everyone wants that quick buck. If they're not making that quick buck, they give up.
Well, it's a lazy generation.
It's a lazy generation.
It's a
People don't
lazy
wanna work anymore.
generation. It's a victim mentality generation. It's an
It is.
excuse generation.
Social media, everybody wants
Right.
that to be
They
their
want to be
claim
TikTok,
to
and
fame.
all of a sudden I made
Yeah, so it's,
$1 million overnight on TikTok.
So I
and
try to tell them, you know, there are no shortcuts. If you work hard, stay focused, do the right thing, the right things will happen for you.
Cigar. Smoke the whole damn thing.
So you have a lot of businesses together now, right? I mean, not together, but there's business. Or I know you have a bunch of businesses as well. You got Casa Mexico. You've got Michelada. You've got your gear, and then Courtney, I know you've been a producer. You've been a dancer. I mean, you're from New York, right?
I'm from Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
We met in New York.
You met in New York, right? At a show.
On a Broadway show.
On a Broadway show. Were you performing at the time?
Yes. It was a sort of a bucket list thing to do, and I was there for 6 months, and I met her the last couple months of the show.
So what was his pitch to you? Like every guy kind of has a pitch or like a way to like, you know, charm a woman. Do you remember? Or does she charm you?
Well, I tried to get her to go out with me. She didn't go out with me at first. Then when she finally said yes,
Which was smart, by the way.
then I was late, and then she blew me off, and then she
You were
brought
late.
her friend the next time they went together. So then it was
I
a
had to
group
make
date.
you work for this.
Yeah.
What was the first date?
The first date was when she brought her friend. And and we went to Chez Josephine in New York.
42nd Street.
On 42nd, yeah, I remember. Spike Lee was sitting at the table next door. I remember he came and visited.
That's pretty badass.
So that was cool, and he was really cool, and very nice, and made me look good that night. And then that was the first day. I don't remember the second one. What was the second one? Do you remember the second one?
I think the second is when your cousins came in.
Was that the second? We had another. We went from that date to another group date. I like group dates initially.
Kind of make everybody more comfortable.
Yeah.
Was
No,
it
I'm pretty
comfortable?
sure.
Was it? Yeah,
Or
probably.
maybe I visited you at your apartment. I don't know.
Whenever I had dates, I would always have like a friend show up in the middle of it just to like break it up for like 10, 15
In
minutes.
case you
It's a
needed to
good
run.
move.
Yeah, just like it's a good move, right?
It's a good move. You make everybody laugh. They chime in. You go to the bathroom. They say good things about you.
When I was
It's a good
single, my
move.
wife hated this. I'd had a whole program that I would do every time I'd go on a date. And it just, what I'd order, where I'd take them, the whole pitch. There was like a systematic approach.
On every date?
Every day, except
Oh my
for
God.
You check in the same place.
Same place.
But the problem
same
there is you
food
can't.
order, I know how much is
You
how much I'm
can't
gonna
have one of the
spend.
servers throw a monkey wrench in your game.
They never would. They know.
That's cool. That's
No,
cool.
It was Javier's in Newport Beach.
They know. Oh yeah, Javier, that's a good
It's a
place.
great vibe.
It's a great vibe. Great. Yeah.
They got good margaritas. So when I was younger,
Now we know Javier's doesn't rat. Okay, good.
Oh, really?
Good to know. For our single visitors out there.
But I'd have the same approach every single time, except for my wife. Except for my wife, I took her to the Ritz-Carlton in Laguna Niguel, Laguna Beach area, and it's got a
Okay.
beautiful view. And,
Well, maybe
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
why it worked.
and that's exactly why it worked.
You
I go,
broke the.
'cause I liked her. When I saw her, I go, I want to marry her. And from the second I saw her, I don't know what it was, and I go, I can't just take her on the same date. So it's
There you go.
it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think guys always have some kind of pitch that they do, or something when especially, and then it's different with a woman you want to marry and be with, I think it's just different things, So with the businesses, I have a statement I make in business. I've been very blessed. I've owned the publication since I founded over a decade now, and to get in the magazine business back in the day, even now today, it's a tough business. But I have a belief that there's three types of things, three characteristics that you have to have when it comes to business, which is you have to be a hustler, an entrepreneur, and a businessman. And if you have too many of each one, could be destructive to what you're trying to accomplish. Meaning that if you're a hustler, people say hustle, be a hustler. That's good, but if you hustle, let's say you're hustling, you're thinking short term. You're thinking just quick cash. A lot of there's a you don't want it to short-sighted. It's short term, right? And then an entrepreneur could be a visionary. They could be an artist almost. They get too lost in the vision of it, and then you have a businessman who's focused on the numbers and how do we make money. But if you're too much of a businessman, too much on the financials, you're not seeing the vision and you're not ready about the hustle. Because if you look at some businessman, they'll be like, oh, these numbers don't make sense. Why are we doing it? But the entrepreneur is saying, look at the vision. And the hustler is saying, well, we got to make this today, right? So those three characteristics has been an approach for me in business and in life. So I've hustled. I've been an entrepreneur since I was 17 years old. I've never actually worked for anybody in my entire life. And then now a businessman. And I'm still developing the businessman more and more. Mario, you guys have kind of been in all three of those aspects a little bit, especially in Hollywood and everything else. And from your acting career to now you have businesses like Casa Mexico and you have your micheladas and everything else. What in your career from when you've started, have you seen yourself evolve? Have you both seen yourself evolve where you guys have wanted to be?
I agree with that mentality and all three of those elements. I'd say in order to execute those to the fullest and to see it come to fruition, I think it is a team effort, and you need people to kind of help keep you accountable, because you can blur those lines, you can maybe put a little too much energy, or you get a little sidetracked. So I think it's important, and I've been blessed to have a great partner in my wife that I can bounce stuff off of. And then also in my particular business, I have a manager that helps do just that, sort of manage everything. And he knows my vision. I said, look, this is what I want to do. I want to be like the Latino Dick Clark. And I want to be on TV for the next 50 years. And I've already it's going to be my 40th year coming in. Since I was 10, right? And I'm going to be 50 this next year. And I said, there are no rules, so I want to do it all. I want the radio and the TV, broadcasting, whatever the case may be, books and what have you.
Which is a little bit of an entrepreneur, right?
Absolutely. And so, and at the same time too, I want to be able to sort of, not to be cheesy, but kind of look at yourself as a brand, to be able to parlay that into other business aspects, whether it's the tequila, which I happen to do with my friend De La Hoya, or the micheladas, or all the clothing, which is now like at Ross and what have you, with all athleisure, sort of athletic apparel, and then all the workout gear, which we've done as a family, which is exclusive at Big Lots. So we've kind of checked off a lot of boxes, and we got dog toys, we got like everything in this like Lopez brand, which is great. So I kind of want to
have this big Lopez brand as a
so
family.
Yeah, I kind of want to be
You guys,
ubiquitous
it's a
with
whole
all
thing, yeah.
and synonymous with the 5 F's, which I always say, which are family, faith, fitness, food, and fun. And if it doesn't kind of fall under those 5 buckets, then I'm not necessarily kind of interested, because I think the consumer, the audience, the viewer, they can tell if someone's being authentic or not. And I think, or I know, I'm always like myself, whether I'm hosting carne asada night here at my house, or a bocce game, or a nationally syndicated radio show or a TV show, what you see is what you get. That's me. I'm going to be the same guy. So it's great that I've kind of now been able to transition to this, in this host position, where I can kind of brand Mario Lopez, and at the same time still, you know, do movies and all that. And we've got a holiday film coming up, stepping into the holiday that's coming out November 25th, and they'll keep playing it on Lifetime. So I think there are no rules. I think there are no sort of limits. And you know, like I said, I'm about to be 50 years old. This is supposed to be like, there's supposed to be the young cool guys coming in, but I'm still kind of hanging in there, thank God, and you know, hanging out on TV and still being able to do it. But I still always have that sort of hustler mentality, to have that entrepreneur mindset, and to have other people that keep me in check on the business side. So I think as long as you have that proper infrastructure, like you said, and people to help keep you accounted, and you continue to pursue that drive, it should work out for you at the end. But it does go back at the same time. I think the fact that I'm married and have a great wife and partner helps sort of anchor me, and I'm not distracted. Because if I try to accomplish other things as a single guy, I don't know if I'd be able to do it. I'd be distracted. My time would be consumed.
She keeps it together for you.
Yeah, it keeps it together. Plus, I'm at the point in my life where
But she works incredibly hard too. I mean,
oh, absolutely. Not just on our own thing, but with the family.
Yeah, with the family and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
So guys, we got some great cigars that we had today, which is the Rocky Patel.
Fantastic.
You have the 60th anniversary, by the way. So
Love
that's a the one you had today was a San Andreas wrapper.
Love it.
And that's his 6th anniversary. So that was when he was 6 years old. So this is a very special cigar that he sent. And then, Courtney, the one you had was the Rocky Patel. This is the Connecticut that he has. It's a 10-age Connecticut. So they don't usually do that wrapper. There's not a lot of Connecticut, authentic Connecticut wrappers that go with that cigar today. It's got a very creamy blend. But how do you like that cigar, by the way?
First of all, shout out to my guy, Rocky Patel.
You've known Rocky for a while,
I know
right?
Rocky for a while. Coincidentally, we just went to the Kentucky Derby together, and we saw Rocky. He was there, my buddy Jeff Ruby, another great guy. He's got good cigars too.
Rocky's a lot of fun to have fun with.
Oh yeah,
he's a great guy.
So Rocky's a great guy out in Florida. Known him a while, and he's a gentleman and puts out a great product. So shout out to him. And these are fantastic.
Some of the best cigars in the world. Would you not agree with that?
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. It's
absolutely.
That was one of the first gifts I bought you, because he likes cigars, he likes tequila, and so I was like, I knew nothing about cigars. I'm like, who? And they said Rocky Patel. I'm like, okay. So I go in, and Rocky Patel was the first.
Yeah, and then you got to meet him.
Yeah.
Finally, a case that does it all. Luxury humidification in the all-new Black Label Collection by Peter James.
You know what's interesting? Almost a decade ago, when my editorial team brought to me, they go, "Oh, we want to work with Mario Lopez," and I go, "Mario Lopez?" At the time, I go, "The guy from Saved by the Bell," and they go, "No, he drinks. He has cigars," and I did more research on him, and he loves cigars, and he likes to party. I go, and we're like, I don't know, and then we did more research on everything that he's always had a cigar and everything like that, and he balances it extremely well. But I didn't know, and he is. He's a guy. He's a guy's guy. I mean, it's incredible. You really are a guy's guy.
Well, thanks. I mean, look, I like to work hard, but at the same time, I like to play hard too. I think you got to have balance in life and have something to look forward to. So I like to have a good time too and entertain people. So I'm a fan of spirits.
How do you like that Cigar?
I love this thing. I got to tell you, I'm so glad you introduced me to this, Lincoln.
I'm gonna put mine on too.
This little wooden deal.
What is so?
It's so cool. I like the drag. I'm telling you, this is a great little gift for fellow cigar smokers.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I was kind of hesitant at first. I'm a very traditional cigar smoker. But what's great about it is like when I get down to here, a lot of times I can't finish my cigar. And if you're smoking like a Rocky Patel, you don't want to waste any of that tobacco. It's a phenomenal, especially the 60 year, right? Or even the Connecticut, right? So, or the white label. So what's so great about it is you can smoke it all the way down. Or if you're playing bocce, or if like, what I actually found, because my wife and I, we have a spa hot tub in our backyard. And a lot of times I'm smoking a cigar there, and I put my hand in the water, I get it all wet. But this thing, you hold it right here, it doesn't.
It's a great move, and you can smoke it all the way down to the nub.
It gives you a better draw and everything.
You get a nice draw. I'm telling you, I would tell you, I'm a big fan. I really like
Love it.
I really like it.
Or if you're at the golf course and things like that too.
Mm-hmm. That's right. You came out to my golf tournament.
Yeah.
This last time.
By the way,
Appreciate
it was a
it.
lot of fun. Not Motley Crue.
Yachtly Crew.
Yachtly
Crew.
Man,
Yacht
Kinda
ride.
like
They were
Motley
good, right?
there's a video.
You got to bring your wife next year.
No, I want to.
She'll have a good time.
There's a funny video of us dancing, and you guys know how to dance. And I'm sitting there thinking I know how to dance. So I got a few tequilas in me, and I think I'm dancing and everything else like that. And everyone's making fun of me. I got so many comments, people making fun of me. So what's your favorite kind of cocktail, Courtney?
I like tequila now.
You went from like martinis to margaritas recently.
I
huh?
know. I like fruity things.
You're just like my wife. She orders these $20 cocktails, $30 cocktails, and she drinks a half. It's just too sweet, and then gets another one, and then orders another one and of a different kind, and it happens all the time.
Yeah, I just like to have like one or two and feel good, and then I'm good.
You know what we've seen with the influential people that have been with spirits. We've seen people that have no tie to it at all. They're just a name. Then we see people that are involved, as you have been. You've posted. You do a lot of things for it too. You're involved, and then you have people that are in it every single day. You know, I was just with Ian Summerhalder a couple weeks ago, and he's literally on the road every day. He's like, I'm bourbon. I'm all about bourbon. You know, so it's interesting to watch this trend that happens. But what a lot of people don't understand in the liquor business is that it's a grind. I mean, you're competing with some of the biggest vodkas in the world and some of the biggest tequilas in the world, and there's thousands of them. You know, and they're coming out more and more every month. Absolutely. But you guys have seemed to hang in there and continue to grow and be extremely successful within it.
Yeah, it's a fun little niche, and like you said, it was nice to see tequila itself just as a spirit sort of take off and be embraced, because before it was sort of synonymous with like spring break and shots and what have you. But as you know, with all the different tequilas out there, and as you get into the finer spirits, it's much like wine. You sip, you have your silvers, your reposados, your añejos, and it's very much a sophisticated drink now.
And it's a sipping drink. I mean,
Absolutely.
Cosmex is definitely a sipping. This, by the way, this is phenomenal. It feels like there's orange in it. Like
that's my new move too. The Fonseca is the tequila with an orange slice in it. Oh yeah. I come to learn it's called.
It doesn't need orange. It tastes.
No,
like
it doesn't. But
orange
it's kind of like that's usually what I like to do. I throw an orange slice.
Actually, we just popped this bottle, so I don't think that happened. So guys, what advice do you give when it comes to family, business, and where do you see yourself? Where do you guys see the Lopez family in the next 10 to 15 years?
We'll start off with advice for the family, honey. Go ahead.
I don't want to think of me that old, but
just in
15
general,
years.
advice you give
Oh,
for
God.
You guys look phenomenal, by the way, for 50. Geez.
First of all, it's scary how fast time goes by. I know everybody says that, and it sounds very cliche, but it is, you know, you think the days are long, but the years end up being so short, and your kids are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And some days when you're having bad days and you think the day's never going to end, you just got to I've learned to try and live in the moment and not wish the day away. I can't wait to go to sleep. I can't wait to go to sleep. I'm so tired. Because, you know, to live in the moment is what you need to do, because before you know it, your kids are going to be out of the house doing their own thing. They don't want to be near you. They don't want to be with you. They want, like our daughter just went trick-or-treating this year with her friends for the first time. That was hard for me to accept that. I do the best I can every day. I wake up and I don't know if it's right, but I think I'm doing an okay job.
She's doing a great job. And I think the key, and you'll see when you have kids, you got to be present and you got to be there. That's the one thing. You don't want to get so overwhelmed and so consumed with your goals that you're an absentee father or mother for that matter. Because then what are you doing it for? You hear so many cases, guys focus on their kids turn out a hot mess, and then you're a failure as a father. That's the worst.
And I don't think you guys like spoil the hell out of your kids. They're well
Not
taken
at all,
care of.
not at
But
all. You know what's funny?
You treat them
Is our-
humility, right?
And I think, and I'm proud to say that, I think we're doing a pretty good job at that, because like I took my kid, I remember we went to the Dodgers game and he did something, and I promised he can get one of those chains, like those big Dodger sort of gaudy chains, but you know, he's 9. So he wanted, I said, I'll get him one, right? And then I asked the guy how much it was, and I think that he said it was like $50, right? $50. He goes, oh no, Dad, that's too much. I go, it's okay, I promised you, you wanted it. I said, I'll get it for you. And he said, no, I don't want you to spend that. That's too much. I said, it's okay, I'll get it. No. Save. I go, and he was like adamant about it. And he's like, so much. And so did Gia. She piggybacked. Remember? Yeah. She's like, don't get it. And I was like, wow. And that kind of made me feel good. Like they value the daughter. They know. Yeah, they're not get me this, get me that. They kind of, which is good.
They never ask for anything. When it comes around to Christmas, I'm kind of like at a loss of what to get them, you know. So I'm just picking stuff that I like, that I think they need. When they buy birthday gifts for anyone, they take it out of their piggy bank.
That's so sweet.
You know, so they know.
You're doing the right things.
Yeah.
When I was, so I have an 18-year difference in my brothers. My sister's actually here, and she started working in the company, which is great. But I like to teach humility. But when they were about 9, 10 years old, I specifically told them both, I want to do brother-sister dates. I'm going to take you out and both do different things. What would you guys like to do? That's cool. My brother said to me, he goes, my brother goes, he goes, I want to go do video games and batting cages. I go, cool, we're going to go do that. My sister goes, I'm going to do sushi and shopping. And I said, okay, we're going to go do those things together. But one of the cutest things I ever found, when I took my sister on our first sushi date as a sister, because I want to show her what a man is like, right? What's a gentleman like? He opens the door, he does these certain things. Because you have to set that example how the way a man's supposed to treat you. And what was so beautiful about it was when the bill came, she was 10, 12, something like that. And I go, when the bill comes, she goes, oh, let me pay. I go, you don't have any money. I go, you can't pay. And she goes, well, let me help. And I go, listen, a lady always offers, but a man always pays. And that's something you have to instill, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be. However, here in LA, there's a whole community of guys that allow girls to pay, and they're kept net. I don't understand those guys.
They do nowadays. It's
the weirdest deal.
My wife is much younger than me. She's in her 20s. Not much younger, but in her 20s.
Go ahead, Lincoln.
But it's crazy when she tells me guys she's going on dates with, they want to split the bill, or they're like, hey, we're
I
gonna
know,
cover
that's
this.
that generation.
You know, it's like, if you're going to take a woman
I'd
out,
be
that you
embarrassed.
I'd be embarrassed to do that. You know?
Exactly.
If I had $100 and I was taking a woman I liked out, I'd spend the $100 on her.
Yeah.
I'd
A
be
man
social
shouldn't
like that.
take a woman out if he doesn't have the money to take her out.
So we touched on family, now business.
Yeah.
What advice do you give for business?
I think whatever it is that's your passion or you want to focus on, then you need to do just that. Focus on that, commit every spare moment of your time being consumed by that. You should wake up thinking about it. You should go to bed thinking about it. And any help you can get. This generation's lucky because you can literally learn how to do anything on YouTube.
You can find anything on Google or YouTube.
Anything on YouTube. You can create your own content. You can create your own brand. You can create your own business. They didn't have this when I was growing up as a kid.
Nope.
I would have been, shit.
We started the Yellow Pages.
Yeah, we had encyclopedias. And so it was like,
you had
this
to
is
buy
like,
the
kids these days have the access to so much information and to create so much and to start. And you don't need a lot of money, just be online. So you have all this at your fingertips, but it's, again, all about discipline and consistency. Those are the two things I would tell people. You have to be disciplined and you have to be consistent. And if you do that, and don't be afraid to ask questions, and don't be afraid to reach out to certain people and start from the bottom, any sort of internship you have, then you have nowhere to go but to work your way up.
100%. So last question, 15 years, where's the Lopez family?
15 years, the Lopez family is, well, our youngest will be just turning 18 at that time. Hopefully he'll be off to college and not in prison.
Well, I hope at that point that you have slowed down a little bit, because I know you just work your butt off for our family. And the kids are going to be older, and I just want to have, hopefully we have more time to just enjoy them and do the things that we love because we want to, not because we have to.
Yeah, I agree. And to piggyback on that,
You think that's possible for you to slow down?
You know, the thing is like in this business, right? Everything's a temp job. You don't know, everything can end tomorrow, just like
hustle.
that. Exactly. But I've been very lucky to kind of been as busy as I have been. And again, when my wife came into my life, it's been very consistent, very, very busy. And if it were to end tomorrow, God forbid, I know we wouldn't starve and it'd be okay. But I want to continue. I want to continue to parlay on what I've worked so hard for and to build on it and to not only provide for my family, but to be able to take care of them and provide other opportunities for my friends and represent my community.
You today?
What inspires me today? My family is number one. You know, I've always had a hustler mentality, but once I got married, and especially once I started having kids, kind of went up another level. And I just haven't wanted to stop.
Are you the same man you were in your 20s as you are today, almost 50?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I'm the same where I didn't forget where I came from, and
Which I believe is true, by the way.
Thank you. And I don't think I've changed too much, but I've matured a lot. Like my priorities have changed, and I've grown up a lot. But you know, I'm glad that when I was younger, I kind of was all boy and did all boy things, because you get it out of your system. It becomes redundant. You don't have a midlife crisis.
You think that's true, Courtney?
I do.
Yeah, because if I would have met her when I was younger, I would have messed that up. That's just real talk. That's just because I don't believe it's about the right person. I really don't.
Although I am the right person.
She is, but but what I'm saying is by that, but what I mean by that
Let's
is,
get that
what I mean by that is like, she could have been as wonderful as she is, but I met her when I was 30, I'd have messed that up. And even if it was the right person, it wasn't the right time. So you wouldn't say, do you know what I mean?
100%.
So it needs to be aligned.
Same with my wife, 100%.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's got to be the right time.
I would have screwed it up.
You have to be right as an individual, and then hopefully you're lucky to have someone come into your life that you're now ready to kind of take the rest of that journey with. But it really is, you got to kind of get right with yourself. And I think it takes a minute for a guy. It takes a minute for a guy.
We mature much slower.
Exactly, we mature much slower. I honestly think it's healthier if a guy is a little older than his...
It makes a lot of sense.
It does, because women do mature a lot quicker.
Yeah.
And it takes a minute for a guy to get his shit together.
Well, guys, I want to thank you so much for today. We had a beautiful shoot. I want to thank you for your time. We got to sit down, have some cigars.
I like this part. This was cool. I could hang here all the time, yeah.
Guys, I appreciate it very much.
Thanks, Lincoln. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Cheers. I'm looking forward to the photos, by the way.
Me too.
Okay, yeah, me
Oh,
too,
great.
man. I look forward to seeing them.
Absolutely. Cheers.
Salud.
Cheers.
Hey.